Really important part of joining NorthStar is to work on that bone density. The really great thing is that I can come here, I talk to the trainers here, and we're specifically working on my hips right now as a way to continue to focus on that and improve that.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Lisa. It's good to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hearing a little bit more on your story and kind of your journey, what your health journey has been. Why don't we kick it off and just, why don't you let people know kind of where you were prior to NorthStar, what attracted you to NorthStar, and we'll go from there.
Yes. Well, everything I think is synchronistic. I was sitting in my car one day and thinking about, I just want to get into some kind of a regular routine for my fitness. And I've done a lot of research, and I know that the importance of having resistance and building lean muscle is really critical as I age. So as I was thinking about this, beginning to look for some options in the area, I actually saw an ad on my phone that showed one of our former physicians who was coming to NorthStar Fitness, and he specifically talked about resistance training and how much better he felt after having been here for some time. And I thought, that's the key right there, and here's the impetus for me to make a phone call. So that's what I did, and I got in, had my assessment, and 2 years later, I'm still here.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Now, if I remember right, you were one of the person you had followed. Was it Dr. Hyman? You were following a podcast.
Oh gosh, yes.
And it was
Dr. Mark Hyman.
Dr. Mark
Yes.
Hyman, who really had, planted those seeds for that.
Yes,
And,
very much about wellness, everything. It includes our nutrition, what we're putting into our body, and then how we're working our body. And he specifically talks about lean muscle and the importance of that as we age, so that we don't get into sarcopenia where we're losing that muscle mass, which then means it's harder for us to get up and move, and so we don't move as much, and then it all tumbles from there.
Yeah. Now, you were pretty active prior to this. I mean, you've
Yes.
got property to take care of,
Yes.
all that.
So that, yeah.
But yet, you still found benefit in coming to NorthStar. Can you
Yes.
explain a little bit, some of the benefits you've seen coming to NorthStar?
Yeah, so I have been fortunate to live a very active life and was very involved in doing regular yoga as well. And I just wanted to have something to really focus on strengthening my muscles and, again, really working on that bone density. One of the things, being active on my property, I am chainsawing, cutting trees, moving brush, doing a lot of cleanup and things. And I always used to joke that a 50-pound bag of bird seed weighs a lot more today than it did 20 years ago. And so I've discovered that actually those bags do not feel as heavy as they had before. And one of the areas that I've noticed the biggest difference has been in my leg strength. So I can I don't know if I'd say easily, but I can get down and get back up even without my hands. I find that I can be in a squatting position longer than I had before. This is important if I'm doing work outside. I feel stronger. I'm able to move things. I remember one day being able to move a big log that previously I know would have been a lot more difficult. So I feel fit. That's the nice thing.
And I remember you talking about some of your golf trips, how you're feeling better playing golf. And
yes.
Can you explain a little bit, on how has it improved your golf game?
Some days, yes. Golf is golf, right?
Yeah.
So, but I would say in general, yes. And in particular, the distance on my drives has improved. I need one of our very well-known participants here at NorthStar to help me with the slice on my drives. However, I do feel like I've got more stamina. I walk all the time when I golf, and
so you're able to walk 18 holes.
Usually we just play 9.
Okay.
Primarily just time restriction, that kind of a thing. But I have played 18.
But you're walking. You're not taking the cart.
No, do not take a cart.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy walking. It's one of the reasons I get out to golf, actually, is to enjoy the walk and the scenery. It's just beautiful around
Oh
here.
yeah, that's really good. Now you mentioned a little bit before about that bone density and how
Hmm.
important that was with you. Describe a little bit your experience, where you've been, where you are now,
Yeah.
and yeah.
This was actually a really important part of joining NorthStar, is to work on that bone density. I know that if I can load my muscles, load the bone, my density is going to improve. And that was a focus for me that I really wanted to see some improvement in. So previous to coming to NorthStar, when I had had my last bone density test, it had shown that I had, now it's called low bone density in my spine, and osteoporosis actually in my hips. And in having a recent bone density exam, my spine has improved, so that was really great news. And my left hip actually remained the same, so I didn't have any decrease. And the last density test I had previous to that was 7 years, so that's a long time. Now, my right hip I need to continue to work on. I had a little bit of a decrease there. So the really great thing is that I can come here, I talk to the trainers here, and we're specifically working on my hips right now as a way to continue to focus on that and improve that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And one of the things that is so common and prevalent in our society is that, okay, if I want to stay fit, I need to lose weight, right? And often the prognosis of that, or what people often take, is to cut
Mm-hmm.
calories and cut nutrients, and they, it can actually accelerate some of that,
Yes.
that bone density
Mm-hmm.
issues. Yet
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the major markers on your overall health, and
Yes.
is, lean mass, bone density. And
Mm-hmm.
I would venture go out and say it's actually not so much lean mass, but it's actually the quality of the lean mass that's very important
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with that. But anyway, there's so many misconceptions on what it means to be fit and healthy,
Yes.
just as you are. What would you say to someone who's kind of been struggling with that, with where they've been? Maybe they think they're kind of stuck, or they feel like I have to go to medical solutions
Mm-hmm.
to resolve some
Well, one
things.
of the things that I was really pleased about, and maybe even to some degree surprised a bit, is the focus that is here at NorthStar for nutrition and looking at what are good sources of protein, good sources of fiber, even giving me a list of how many grams of protein and things like that, and what are the things that are going to be helpful to me to put into my body, as well as what I'm doing with my body when I'm here working on my fitness. So it's a full holistic approach. We're looking at the nutrition as well as the work that we're doing here when we're here.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Now, what have you appreciated most about our service?
Well, first of all, it's personable. I mean, I'm really, when I talk to people about this, I say it is a personal trainer. So if I tweak something, then we change what we're doing so that we can work with that without any further harm. And when I say tweak, I don't mean I tweak it here. It's because I'm usually out doing something else, like granny basketball. I've jammed a couple of fingers, those kinds of things. So we make adjustments here. And then also every 8 weeks, there's an assessment. So I get to see how am I doing. One of my worries is that I'm plateauing, I'm not making any gains. And it's like, oh my gosh, I really have. And I didn't know that. And then based on that, I can work on flexibility. I can work on my agility or maybe mobility. Two big ones for me are the strength and then the stability. Especially as I age anyway, that sense of balance is really important. So my program is set up to help me do the things and get better at the things that I want to get better at for my life.
Yeah, and we've really appreciated your thoughtful feedback to
Yeah.
our team. We always take that in consideration and make
Yes.
sure that, we want to give you that voice on, where you
Mm-hmm.
feel you're at, because oftentimes it's the expectation of where we want to be versus what we really are.
Yeah.
There can be a gap there.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, because then it
Yes.
identifies, hey, what's the next step? But we really appreciate
Mm-hmm.
that feedback
Yeah.
that you've given us, because that helps us better tailor that program for where you are today.
Yes.
Seasons change.
Yes, they do.
Uh, you know,
Well, and an example of that is that I know now that you're offering a program to learn more about osteoporosis and helping us learn other ways of being able to uh, really help our bone health. There's all sorts of different options, and one of them we can help right here. So that's an example of what you've done to do something that wasn't here a couple of years ago. So you do listen to your participants here and take that feedback in and really make a change and try to help us. You try to help everyone, really.
That's right. Everybody has
Yeah.
their own story to tell.
Yes.
They're on their own journey.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, oftentimes group exercise classes are, a generic video.
Yeah.
It's not meant for that person,
Yeah.
that for who you are, where at that time. And
well, I have good intentions. I have the best intentions ever. And I've had experiences of going to a gym. I'm really good for about a month, and then I'll find every excuse in the book to not go. And eventually I'm not going on a regular basis. So this is a commitment. I know that if I don't show up, somebody's going to notice. And also, if I can't come because something changes in my schedule, then I get to reschedule. So if I'm coming 2 times a week, I'm coming 2 times a week, no matter what. We just work around that. And I think that's a commitment that each and every person who joins here makes for themselves. It's an investment, and it's an investment in myself. I think it's worth it for not only my lifespan, but my health span as well, and hopefully many more years left. One thing I want to share, Nick, is that in terms of surprises, I don't know how often I say it, I can't believe it, that the sessions go so fast. I mean, I feel like I've just started, and then all of a sudden we're working on core and we're done. So this whole idea that we have to work out for a long time in order to get benefit, it just hasn't been the case here. I mean, the session is 30 minutes with 12 to 15 minutes of cardio, and it goes so quickly.
And you're pretty taxed when you're pretty at the end of the session.
Yes.
It's not like you're I feel like you're getting off easy.
Oh gosh, no. There's none of that here. We work hard, and it's fun, though. I feel like I've developed a relationship with each of the trainers here. I work primarily with Taylor, and I kind of joke that part of the personal care is tailoring it for each and every one of us. And it's a sense of everyone's paying attention and really making every session meaningful in that way. And the fun that we find here, for instance, today's Halloween, so we have people coming in all sorts of costumes, and be it Christmas, recently the Olympics. The team here at NorthStar makes it special, makes it fun. It's not just coming in, working out, going home, that kind of a thing. There's a real relationship that's built.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, you've been doing awesome. And
thank you.
Appreciate you as and it's been exciting to see you on your journey. Mm-hmm. And I look forward to what's ahead.
Yes, well, it's a team effort. So thank you, Nick, and thanks to your whole team. I really enjoyed coming here.